much of him firing up the wing yet. 19 is Delhi. Over the top looking for Kalou.
Good play by Benatir on that occasion. Allowed Dira to go a little bit higher up the field. Covered the area in behind the wing back.
Fires ball. Just a reminder for you, over on Eurosport 2, it is Togo against the Democratic Republic of Congo. Any goals that go in there, we will show them to you. Plus, at half-time, there will be a round-up as well. Here is Doucouré. Saiss at the back there didn't deal with that particularly well, but he got back and made sure that there was no way that Zaha was going to make a cross here.
Skill by Zaha. Drag back using the soles of his feet. Very talented player. Frustrating at times for teammates, managers.
Just shows you, doesn't he? He made his debut when he was called into that game against Sweden the same night as Raheem Sterling. He was actually a substitute for him. And toward the head there of Bonny. Sneridi.
Likes that bit of skill.
We've been talking about Zaha for many, many years, haven't we?
Well, I saw him play on a couple of occasions, maybe as a substitute for Manchester United when he first went there. I'm afraid he was very frustrated, made the wrong decisions, tried to run with the ball when he needed to pass it, passed it when he needed to run with it. I think some of the other players got very frustrated with him. Season with Crystal Palace, although Crystal Palace have played poorly this year. He's been the shining light.
Had a dreadful campaign. What is it? 1-1 Premier League game since September 24th. It really is a poor run. Done again by Everton. Bonny dropping deep. They've got some width here. Kalou on the edge of the penalty area. It was Doucouré's ball. Looking to try and pick out Kalou. It's Doucouré. Under pressure from Boadou's. It's going to be a long, lonely old night for Boadou's, isn't it? He's the only Moroccan forward, and there doesn't appear to be an awful lot of interest from anybody else in getting up there to support him at the moment.
Disappointing tactics so far from Morocco. Very cautious. And there you see what I was talking about with Zaha. Really poor decision on the ball. And Zaha have made not always the right runs. It's Kalou on that occasion.
Here he is again, Kalou, and pulled Bonny down right on the edge of the area. Saiss is going to be in for a tough old night here.
That's better from Bonny. Comes short. This is what he's good at doing. This is what I saw him do at Swansea all the time. Plays a little ball round the corner, then goes to the return pass. He's got more pace and power than Saiss. Clear foul. Good decision by the referee, but good play from Wilfried Bonny.
Well, that was quite plainly a championship player up against a Premier League striker, and that is what it was. So Munir organising those defenders in front of him. So opting just for a three-man wall. Kalou in compensation.
Put up a three-man wall. Solomon Kalou taking the free kick. I'm not sure he's going to be shooting from here. He's trying to play the ball into the box. Nervous times for Hervé Renard. Or is he thinking about the shot?
Kalou. He was trying to squeeze it in there, but they've got a corner kick.
That had enough power to beat the goalkeeper. He's just trying to bend it round Benatia, who's in the wall.
93rd appearance for Solomon Kalou tonight. Not a bad goals ratio either. 28 goals in those 93 games. Here he is again to deliver the corner. And that's Mendil.
Getting involved with Zaha. He's got to keep an eye on that. He's still having a little go, Mendil.
And again, he too relatively inexperienced, only 19 years of age, Mendil. Real youth about this Moroccan team, Moroccan squad. It's Zeridi looking for the width. They've got 3-4 waiting in there. Bonny is in there toward the near post. Needed a better delivery than that though from Aurier.
They've had their defenders up. Aurier, very good fullback, great athlete, loves to get forward. Well, I hope Bonny gets back to his top form, because, as I said, when he was at Swansea, he looked to be an outstanding centre forward. His relationship with Sigurdsson.
It's ironic actually, talking about Swansea, he scored only twice in 2016 to Wilfred Bonny, and both the goals were actually against Swansea City.
I'm sure he was given too many opportunities at Manchester City. Before moving to Stoke.
Wonder what he thinks about the arrival of Berahino. Pushing on toward the midway point then in this first half. Neither have had a shot in anger. Those goalkeepers untried, untested at the moment. This is Thaya. Nezri is there. Boussoufa is making a run in there, but again it's hit too quickly. Zaha is getting forward. Kalou is up there. There's Bonny. Zeridi. Famously suspended for 8 games, you might remember, Zeridi. The camera caught him slapping one of the ball boys. Suspended for 8 games he was then. Bourdous. Fire with him. Easily dealt with again. Referee getting an involvement he didn't want. 11 there was Kessie. Back it comes to Mendil here. Mendil up against Zaha. It'll be Aurier. 20 is Zeridi. And again. Plenty of space to run into here. Needs a bit of support wide of him. And finally gets it. Easily broken up though. It's Boussoufa. Trying to hit it long. Bailly is there and puts his goalkeeper under a bit of unnecessary pressure. They work their way out of it well enough. Zeridi.
Certainly was first choice Manchester United when he first came to the club. Bailly has been injured. Knowing that he was coming to the African Cup of Nations, 1 or 2 other players have taken over. Good bit of skill from Aurier.
Well, I'll tell you, we're just seeing here in the Togo having nightmares. It seems that it's not only Egypt they're having goalkeeping problems. They're on their 3rd choice here. Mensah is going into goal. The first choice, remember, didn't start enough. Remember the story about his house being vandalized. Here, though, there is El Nezri in possession. Neziri looking for a bit of support, but really didn't have any conviction about that, did he?
Won a free kick here. Foul on the big centre forward, Bourdous, just as he was pulling the trigger. Well, Aurier, the player that brought him down. In fact, it's not Aurier. The challenge from behind that was penalised. It was Picure. Now this is a good position. Fayer has got an excellent right foot. We've seen that in the tournament, particularly in the last game. Looking to whip this round the wall or over the wall.
It's a great position, and we've seen some fantastic goals in this competition so far. Is he going to add to the growing total as we draw to the end of the group stages here?
Seen very little of him in the game so far because of the tactics that Morocco are using, sitting deep. Not going to get the ball forward into him that many times, so he can make the most of these opportunities.
Whips it in, and is very unlucky indeed. Keeper was absolutely nowhere. And that is going to go behind for a corner kick. Fayer very, very close to giving Morocco the lead here.
What a free kick. Goalkeeper had no chance. He was beaten. Ball ends up. He won't see it until it comes over the wall. It's hit with pace. It's hit with power. A lot of whip on it. I think it's in. Just. It's enough of the crossbar not to go back down beyond the line. He's the technician for Morocco.
It'll be another free kick, this time no to Ivory Coast, which Kalou wants to take quickly and is denied.
Kind of targeted Zaha a little bit. That was Dira that went into the back of him. Then Da Costa was lucky not to get a booking because he ran and blocked the free kick that was going to be taken.
Delhi going for it, and it's Ivory Coast ball. Here's another look at that free kick.
They're very unlucky. It doesn't bounce down. It bounces down too high, but the players follow it in. They had 3 players following in here, Morocco, and it bounces back over them.
Fought by Zeridi, but Mendil. So just to round up that story coming out of the other games, it was Agassa that didn't start. As you might have seen in the press, his house was vandalised. He didn't start the game. Jazuni came in to start the game. He's now actually gone off. And Mensah is in, so the full complement of goalkeepers in use there.
The long ball again.
Bailly once again looking for Boni. Zaha coming in behind him. There's Zeridi. Yeah, stood up well. Did Mendil. As we said, he's only 19 years of age. He's playing currently for Lille's second team. Could have played for the French. His father was an Ivorian, and he's in the end chosen to play for Morocco. Looking to get Cannon in, but again it's over here. It's a curious 28 minutes this for Ivory Coast, because they're playing as if everything is already sorted, they're qualified. There doesn't seem to be an awful lot of direction, any real urgency.
Well, the direction is
a long ball.
But I think they're putting to play it. The pitches are particularly good, so playing through midfield is always going to be dangerous. Morocco are sitting deep and trying to be compact in midfield, so they say if you're going to do that, we're going to go longer. But if they do go longer, they've got to get players in and around the knockdown. They've got to get their midfield higher up the field.
He gets about. We've seen him at plenty of the other games. Alain Jures. There's Dira. And it's Cannon who takes that. Fire then is going to deliver.
Benatia, Acosta, Saiz, all big targets in the box. Bourdous as well, got some height in there.
Standing his ground, standing firm is Bourdous right on the line. Being pushed a bit there by Cassie as they swing it out. Once again, that is brilliant defending, but the flag had already gone up then. Wouldn't have counted.
Well, there's going to be a yellow card, is there here? There is going to be a yellow card. Maybe it was handball by Benatia. This is the key moment.
There's a goal in the other game, and we can show it to you here. It is Cabananga who has scored. Cabananga is scored here, so it is the Democratic Republic of Congo who lead Togo by that goal to nil.
Well, the bigger moment was in our game, where there was a ball played into the box. Benatia went with his hand, it was knocked off the line, but Benatia got a yellow card for it.
There is how the table stands if the scores remain as they are at this moment. There's Cannon into Delhi. 21 is Bailly. There's Kalou. Again, more interruption there. Mendil.
Another long ball forward. Kalou fighting with Mendil. There's the tug of the shirt.
Looking for Bourdous. Neziri following him behind him. Solomon Kalou.
There's nothing wrong with going long, as long as you do it with quality. At the moment, Ivory Coast haven't done it with quality. They haven't hit Bonny in the air or to his chest. That ball played out to Kalou.
Always remember Marco van Basten trying to get Solomon Kalou Dutch passport, Dutch citizenship during the time he was coach of the national team. He had an amazing period of success, and that partnership that he had with Dirk Kuyt, K2 as they used to be known in Eredivisie days at the turn of the millennium.
Best moment in the game so far with that free kick. Just need to get him on the ball a little bit more. Foul coming in from the left back, Cannon.
With the delivery, and easy claim again for the goalkeeper. Delhi in here to Cannon.
Hardly seen anything of that man in midfield, Kessie.
Kessie, absolutely right.
He's just running up and down the field with Soufa at the moment. Soufa is a very good player. Pass the ball, he hasn't been on the ball either. A very strange first 33 minutes here.
So I know you see a lot of Serie A. You don't see much of Kessie?
Don't see too much of him.
Still very young, 20 years of age, but 3 years he's been an international. since his debut against Sierra Leone in September of 2014. And he scored a good few goals this campaign as well. 6 goals from a midfield position, which is something in Italy, isn't it? Especially if you're that age. Atalanta went on that unbelievable winning run, didn't they, just before Christmas, nearly breaking club records.
They do like to develop their players. Atalanta at the moment, what you want to see Kessie do is make more forward runs. If the ball's going into the front areas, he's got to go and join. Now, it's a good moment.
Kalou, Bonnie is in there, and Munir had to just scoop it up.
Bonnie just apologising for not making the run. Kalou has switched over to that right-hand side. Nasty's man got the cross into the box, albeit a fairly weak one in the end.
There goes Dida. Well, Morocco probably can't believe their luck with what they're facing here in the first 34 minutes. Johanna Konta against Serena Williams. What a potential night that is. Live Australian Open tennis from midnight tonight.
Well, was that a penalty? Ball played in to Bourdous in the box, backing in. There's that run by Kalou to start with. Gets a bit lucky to go past Mendel to start with. And he just crosses it into the near post area. Bonnie had made a different sort of run. In no danger for the goalkeeper, Munir.
Still getting the goals these days back in Bundesliga. Got a very good hat-trick actually not long ago against Borussia Mönchengladbach.
He's had a mixed Bundesliga career. He started off very poorly, spent a lot of money on him to go to Hertha Berlin. Didn't really work out for him when he first went there.
It's Paul Dardai who's done an exceptionally good job there at that club.
Hukai that he didn't get on with.
Josh Hukai, you're right. Here's Kessie. Kalou, has he overrun it? No, he hasn't overrun it. It's into Zaha. Made it easy for Munir. Big chance for Wilfried Zaha.
But it was all made by Kalou's run. You see a really good change of feet. When he was running with the ball, just when it looked as though he was running into trouble. Changed it from one foot to the other just to open the space to hit it to Zaha.
Too long in possession there. It's Bazoufa who wins possession back.
Best moment for Ivory Coast in this first 37 minutes. Big chance for Zaha.
Again, looking for Bourdous. It'll drop here for Cannon. There's Doucouré. That wasn't a great bit of play, that by Doucouré. You can see Neziri just trying to sneak in there. 20 is Zeridi. And that's going to be a free kick.
There's that change of foot. You saw him take it from his right onto his left. Never starts it wide enough. Because it was in the middle of his feet, it's very difficult to try and bend it. I think he should hit with power in the end. Made it a little bit obvious where he was going to try and place that.
It's
Zaha.
Bailly into Cannon. Easy for Saiss. And Aurier's ball isn't good enough. Here's Bourdous. Fire. Play on. Mendel is going to get up here in support of Neziri. It's Neziri. It's a pull ball from Neziri.
Here's that run again. finding that bit of space. See, Dirar goes in, the wing back, and he's beaten far too easily. Just wasn't a good enough finish in the end from Zaha. Straight at the goalkeeper. Easy save for Munir. That's what people criticise Zaha for, that does a lot of good work, goes past people, great pace. What about his end product? Is it good enough at the top level?
Well, just 6 minutes to go to half-time. Remember, Democratic Republic of Congo are leading Togo by 1-0. Kabange with the goal there. But here, it's a game of very few chances indeed. Now you can see that game is live on Eurosport 2 at the moment. A reminder, if you've just turned on or you've just tuned in, Ivory Coast need to win this game in order to jump above Morocco, because a draw at the moment is good enough for Morocco, with Togo losing the other game. Remember, just a couple of years ago, in 2015, they won, Ivory Coast, only one group game and drew the first two. They beat Cameroon in that final game by 1-0 before going on and seeing off Algeria, DR Congo and Ghana on penalty kicks in the end.
I have to say, that's a dangerous game that Morocco are playing here. Sitting deep in Ivory Coast, all the possession.
It's Kessie. Perhaps his biggest goal.
See a substitution here
against Roma in November. Alioui.
An injury somewhere on the field. Struggling. It's the big centre forward, Bourdous.
Well, that is a loss.
Rashid Alioui coming on.
Based in France with Nîmes. He's had a decent run. Of course, there's 11 goals in 20-odd games. But only his fourth appearance here.
He's worked hard throughout the tournament, Bourdous, without too much success. Obviously got a slight injury here. He will go up front, but he needs good support from Nezri from that left-hand side.
Is Cannon into Delhi. 20 is Zeridi Bailly. Bonny in front of him. Zaha's down the flank, but he might not need him. Whipped in, there's Bonny, and Kalou very nearly touches it in. Great bit of goalkeeping by Munir.
Good play all round from Ivory Coast. Cross from Aurier, really good ball played in. Bonny makes the run to start with and gets the first header. Well, does it hit the post or the goalkeeper's hands? Kalou coming round the back. Well, I think it hits the outside of the post. Big chance. That's what Bonny can do. He gets the timing of his runs right. He has got good spring. He's looked a big threat, Kalou. He's got on the ball. It's all started by Bailly coming out from the back with the ball. He skipped past the first challenge and Nezri, and suddenly they had an overload on that far side. It was easy for Aurier to get the cross in. Good little spell at the moment for the Ivory Coast.
It's Dida. Then is Dukuri. Mendil giving the free kick away. Final minute of the first half here.
Zaha was trying to get Mendil booked there. He's saying that's the second or third time he's whacked me from the back. It's a poor challenge by Mendil.
Aurier. Again, really no threat whatsoever. Neziri gets it clear here. And Vaya isn't going to get that. Zedidi will.
What a chance for a counter-attack that was. 3 versus 2 just for a moment there, and they didn't make the most of it, Morocco. It's their game plan, sitting deep, trying to defend as well as they can, and every so often trying to catch Ivory Coast on the counter.
Five is Cannon. And 2 additional minutes here. There's Bonnie. Natia getting it clear.
She's been held by Dira.
What a good time this would be to break the deadlock right on half-time. It's Kalou, should be the keepers, Munir. Under no pressure whatsoever, Dukuri jumping in there.
Well, as you said earlier, it's been a strange first half. Fairly low-key. It's being played with great intensity. I think both sides are a little bit wary. Losing that first goal. Particularly Morocco have just dropped deeper and deeper. Ivory Coast have played fairly long ball, which nothing wrong with that, but they haven't got players in and around the knockdowns. Something the coach will have to address and adjust at half-time. Soye.
Put up by Zedidi. 14 is Boussoufa. It's Da Costa. Benatia only succeeds in giving it to Kalou. And for all the talk we had about Cannon offering so much going forward as an attacking fullback, barely seen him getting up there to support Kalou in this first half at all.
Fullbacks can only get forward if there's some build-up play. And there hasn't been any build-up play because Ivory Coast are going from back to front. It's then been a fight ball for Bonnie and the front players. Midfield players have to get on the knockdowns to get the next bit of possession, and then the fullbacks might be able to get higher up the field, Aurier and Cannon.
Kessie, and that is the final kick of what has been a bit of a disappointing first half, you'd have to say, for Ivory Coast here, when you consider they have to win this game in order to qualify for the quarter-finals. I think we got what we expected off of Morocco. They weren't going to go gung-ho, they were just going to try and contain.
But the game will liven up in the second half when they get nearer the 90 minutes. One of these sides is going out, one of these sides is going through. It's going to be certainly a more interesting and dynamic second half, that's for sure.
Right, we'll take a short break. When we return, we'll look back over some of the key moments that made up that first half. Plus, we'll play in the goal in the match between Togo and Congo DR.
Biathlon European Championships, starting tomorrow, live on Eurosport 2, with the men's 20k individual from Poland.
I am the master of entertainment.
No you're not. This is the new Virgin TV V6 box, bundled with crazy fast fibre broadband. Fill your house with box sets, Sky channels, and bucket loads of BT Sport. Record 6 shows all at the same time. Mind blown. Just £55 a month for 12 months and a £14.99 activation fee. The full-on, full-throttle, full-house bundle. Search Virgin Media Bundles.
The Microsoft Cloud helps us stay connected.
The Microsoft Cloud offers infinite scalability.
The Microsoft Cloud helps our customers get up and running anywhere on the planet. Wherever there's a phone, you've got a bank. And we could never do that before.
The cloud gave us a single platform to reach across our entire organization. It helps us communicate better.
We use the Microsoft Cloud's advanced analytics tools to track down cyber criminals.
This cloud helps transform business. This is the Microsoft Cloud.
At Nuffield Health Hospitals, there are no waiting lists. Just pay for the treatment you need and go straight to feeling better faster. Nuffield Health, specialists in you.
At GoDaddy, we'll help you get online.
Are you running a business?
Got a great idea you want to share?
Or all of the above? We're here to help.
At GoDaddy, customer support is 24/7 and always free. Don't hesitate. Get your business online today.
Get more customers. Drive sales.
And find leads. So call me.
Call me.
Call me, and I'll help get you online. Visit godaddy.co.uk to kickstart your online presence with domains, website, and email, all in one place.
The adrenaline rush of live sport. You can watch it, or you can get involved in it with the latest Coral action. So, are you a spectator, or are you a player? You decide. Coral, get in on the action. When the fun stops, stop.
Hi, how can I help?
Life. Sometimes you're in credit, sometimes things are a bit tight. And the assets you have can't always be counted or cashed in. Prosperity isn't always measured with a decimal point or a figure on a screen. Prosperity is finding what you want in life. And with preferential deals for our 5 million 123 World customers, we're here to help you prosper. Santander.
Welcome back then. Here it is 0-0 between Morocco and Ivory Coast. There's the statistics, Stuart. 62% of the possession. Didn't really do an awful lot with it.
No, a lot of that was from back to front, now getting round the knockdowns. But here's the other game. Togo against DR Congo.
Now remember, Mensah was the substitute keeper, only been on a couple of minutes, and the first thing he had to do was pick the ball out the back of the net. Kabanga, with his third goal of the competition, takes him to the top of the scoring charts. But just look at that playing surface, Stuart.
Well, it's a poor playing surface, but he still had the pace to get there, and it's a good finish. Kabanga, there's the strength to hold off the challenge, and the awareness just to place it beyond the goalkeeper. You can't blame the goalkeeper. Well, decent celebration.
He'd go close again here.
He wasn't even watching. When the ball was played in, he wasn't ready for it. Suddenly turned round, the ball was on him. He just got that little flick. Look, there it comes. And just lifts it over the goalkeeper. Would have been a fantastic goal had it gone in.
And that is how the group looks at the moment, which I suppose is partially good news this for Morocco, because it means that if they do draw, they will go through, so there'll be no discussions, no looking at goals scored, goals against from the other one. Let's have a look then at some of the key moments. There weren't an awful lot of them, but that from Faye.
Well, that's what they've been waiting for. A free kick from that sort of area. Faye is a brilliant technician. Dead ball situations. Look at the whip he gets on it. It's hit with pace. The goalkeeper wouldn't have seen it coming over the wall until it was obviously past that wall. Had no chance had it been just underneath the crossbar. Great free kick. And then looked as though Benatia had got his head to it. But when you see the replay, he goes with his hand and pushes it goalwards, and for that reason He got a yellow card.
Tried to disguise it, but he couldn't pull the wool over this referee. Now watch this from Solomon Kalou. Brilliant bit of footwork. And then Zaha.
Well, he's got to start it outside the post, but he gets the ball stuck between his feet almost, so he can't wrap his foot round it. Almost got to get his body on the half turn if he was to play it into that far corner. I think he's got to just go with power on that occasion, but that's the bit of skill that makes it from Solomon Kalou, who's probably been one of the better players for the Ivory Coast. Easy save in the end, right height, straight at the goalkeeper. Here's the cross into the box. Aurier delivering the ball. Bonny with the header. Kalou coming round the back. Not quite sure whether the goalkeeper had made a save or it hit the outside of the post. I think it hits the outside of the post. Big moment. I think it might hit the post and then come back and hit the goalkeeper's hand and go out of play.
Well, there it is. Hopefully we will have better fare in this second half. Certainly Ivory Coast have got to do more than 45 minutes from exit. Otherwise, we'll take a break. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes.
The Africa Cup of Nations on Eurosport is presented to you by BetAtHome.com. Life is a game.
Jumping season's wide open. Now the quest for crystal moves on to Willingen. Starting Saturday, live on Eurosport 2 in the Ski Jumping World Cup.
Hold your breath. Make a wish. Count to 3. Come with me, and you'll be in a world of pure imagination. What we'll see will defy explanation.
Best sausages in town.
Nice. Did it say anything about parking? We're just finished. Now that's how you park in this town.
Drivers win at Confused.com. #1 for car savings.
If your next step is one you can't wait to take, we'll be by your side.
Here comes the corner, cleared away at the near post. He could have a crack here. Good effort. Here comes the corner, cleared away at the near post. He could have a crack here. Sensational!
Great. Just got greater. Turbocharge your winnings with a chance of cash bonuses when you cash out any bet with all new Cash Out Boost. Why cash out anywhere else? Sky Bet. That's betting better.
How was the big wedding?
Oh, haven't you heard? So it's at the end of the night, everyone's on the dance floor really getting into it. Say, this is my left wheel. This is the bride's foot.
Yeah.
Bush. How awful. Wasn't all bad. Left with the best man's number.
You are terrible.
Guilty. I'm the master of entertainment. Only I know how to make your gadgets talk to each other.
Take back control of your entertainment. Stream your recordings on your tablet or mobile with the new Virgin TV V6 box.
Welcome back. It is 0-0 here, but we've got one big sporting event coming up for you later on tonight. This is worth staying up for. The Australian Open Tennis, the quarterfinals. Konta against Serena Williams, live from 2 a.m. What a potential showdown that is. I mean, you won't be going to bed early for that, will you?
Certainly won't.
No, I shan't. So follow it there, and of course the entire competition across the Eurosport Play should be a fantastic night for British tennis. Tomorrow night, Egypt against Ghana. Poor old Egypt. They play great football when they're allowed to, and yet they've been stymied really by the quality of that dire playing service in Port Gentil. They've got Ghana, and it's a tough one.
Certainly will be. Ghana have played some decent football.
Yeah, win the group or go out. It's a lot on that one. Uganda against Mali is the other game, and again you can see that live tomorrow evening from 6:45. And there we are. The second half will be upcoming live from here. It stands Ivory Coast 0, Morocco 0. Something's going to give. This was the goal that is given to DR Congo the lead against Togo. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes.
Oh, shocker of a late goal.
Cammy?
Unlucky, mate. And your ACCA was in great shape. But luckily, Ladbrokes now gives you unbelievable 5-team ACCA insurance.
Really? How does that work?
It's simple. When one team lets you down on ACCAs of 5 teams or more, you get your money back as a free bet. What? Unbelievable! Unbelievable 5-team ACCA insurance with Ladbrokes.
Welcome back then from me, Tim Capel and Stuart Robson. It is 0-0 here. It's got to improve for Ivory Coast, and we expect it to.
Yeah, I hope the coach has done his job at half-time. There's nothing wrong, as I said, in the first half on a couple of occasions, if they do go from back to front. But they've got to do it with quality. They've got to get it into the body of Bonny, and then they've got to get players in support of him, get it wide, and then get crosses into the box. They have to play the percentage game because the pitch doesn't allow them to play through midfield, and Morocco are trying to overload that midfield, but they have to be careful of Morocco on the counter-attack.
Let's have a quick chat about missing persons. Hakim Ziyech, who was voted Holland's best player in 2016, he left him at the squad, said that he didn't think he would stand up to the rigours of African football.
Certainly didn't think he was physically enough, but he also said that
Nice and Kiev, he fractured a toe back in December. He was out for 6 weeks. Of course, Amrabat would have been here as well. Got injured in that game where they were mauled by Tottenham just into the new year. Was looking at some of the comments on social media at half-time. Ivory Coast.
Well, I think when they were sort of building up to the tournament, he hadn't been in the Manchester City team. I think people thought he was over the hill, and he's come back and played quite well for Manchester City. I'm not sure he can do it on a regular basis. If you're playing in a tournament, would he be able to do it 4, 5, 6 times in the space of a couple of weeks? I'm not sure.
So he's 45 minutes away from putting out the team that he took all the way to that victorious night just a couple of years ago. The man with the Midas touch, Renard. Well, the Midas touch, whenever he coaches a national team, the Midas touch seems to vacate the premises whenever he goes anywhere near a club. Got relegated with Sochaux, sacked by Lille.
Particularly well at Cambridge.
That's it, that is going back. That was 2004, wasn't it? So got a job wherever he goes, I would imagine.
Sufa on the ball.
It's up in the air nicely, that was, and it is looped over there by Benatia. It was half a chance, that, for Benatia.
Who, with a poor punch, is actually just flapping it down into a dangerous area. If you're going to go with clearance from Munir. Tries the pitch to play too many back passes to your goalkeeper.
Drops to Vaya. Eziri is racing through the middle of the field. Lay off by Doucouré. We've been closed down effectively once again.
Seen that much of El Ahmadi.
That's very true.
Hardly mentioned him. Holding midfield play. He's done a lot of defensive work, but he hasn't been able to get on the ball. The final player.
One of a number of players out here maybe celebrating title wins this season. It's going to be a free kick.
Poor touch, he hasn't started the game very well. Substitute. Leary lost control of the ball. That gives Bailly a shove in the back.
Be some celebrations, those down in Rotterdam if they do win. First time since what, 1999? First time this century they'll have celebrated a title. Who's working the miracle down there. Former player, of course, Gio van Bronckhorst. Is Aurier. Again, Money unable to bring it under control. '17 is Aurier. That's Bouzoufa. The one thing they are doing is they are giving away an awful lot of free kicks in this game.
Aurier doing well, good bit of skill. To go past Bouzoufa, who then had a go at Alioui for giving the ball away cheaply.
Whipped in, looking again for the head of Kessie.
Breakthrough they need. How the game would change if they scored first. Ivory Coast, Morocco would then have to come out and play. He'd have to change his tactics. They ran up.
14 is Bouzoufa. Down the years had a record as a goal-scoring midfield player. He was a Golden Shoe winner twice. This time with in Belgium. He was with Anderlecht in the early days. Here he is again. 5 is Benatia. Into Bouzoufa. He's under pressure from Doucouré. Can he keep it in? He does he? Yes, indeed he does. Doucouré, no, he's been dragged back here.
I think the referee has given or assistant referee has given a throw-in rather than a free kick for the tackle. Closing down. Just goes out of play there. Last bit of action.
Yeah, Doucouré is going off. It's Seri who is coming in. Well, what a change. 5 minutes in.
Doesn't look particularly happy, does he, Doucouré? If you're going to make a change after 51 minutes, unless it's an injury, you think you might as well make it after 45 when you can give the players their instructions. How are you going to change things?
He's Nice, of course, going very well in Liga 1. He did part of the national team for 16, 17 months, made his debut against Liberia.
Watch out for the run here. Saiz, runner Da Costa, Benatia. 3 good headers of the ball. Good free kick taker in Faye. Threatening moment here for the Ivory Coast.
So Faye with the delivery, looking for Da Costa or Benatia, and it found neither. interesting to see if they take up their option to buy him at the end of his season's loan, or whether he's going to be going back to Bayern Munich. 11 is Kessie down there, and out of play it goes. Mendil will leave it. Saiss again with the throw. Gives it away cheaply.
Nothing's really changed at the start of this second half. No fluency in the game.
Aurier's throw. Bonny dropping deep. Well, whatever Dessier's instructions are, or have been, at half-time, as you said, Stuart, nothing really has changed in the opening near 10 minutes we've had here. We have another goal in the other game. Togo are 2-0 down here. Dombe with the goal. He's onside. How about that for a cute finish?
Great finish. Wasn't particularly good defending, was it, by Togo? Standing still, thinking he was going to be offside.
The Democratic Republic of Congo lead by 2-0 and are safely through. Here the battle is on. See who is going to join him. Kalou waiting inside the penalty area. Kessie. That's a good challenge there by Benatti. He was fouled though in the process. So free kick given.
Quite sure what the referee saw there. Kessie looked as though he was in possession of the ball. He tried to go down the outside of the defender. He just grabbed hold of his shirt as he tried to go past him. He's in control. There he is. There's the grab of the shirt. Benatia. Good decision by the referee. He's just there. Forwards usually get away with it.
Is the table as we stand with the scores as they are. Nothing really done in any degree of hurry by Ivory Coast. Zaha looks frustrated to set his ball to it.
Has he got anything else up his sleeve, the coach here? Michel Desoye,
former goalkeeper. Desoye. 9 coaches they've had involved in this role at Ivory Coast since Henri Michel left back in 2007. So it's fairly fluid. Don't expect him to be around too long if they don't make it through to the quarterfinals. And again, predictably intercepted, predictably cleared. And it's Mendil who's done a good job down there then. And Mendil will nick this away as well. Mendil, can he skip through here? Is he going to get a free kick here of Bailly? The referee, he doesn't react to the bench. Oh, well, he does. He gives a yellow card.
Well, I think it was reckless. That's what the bench are saying. He flew in from a long way off. He realises he's made a mistake there. Eric Bailly. Comes towards the ball, can't slow himself down. Oh, it's a reckless challenge. That's a poor challenge. The ball gets played between his legs. He's jumping in.
See, it is when you consider he's not that long back from injury. Picked up that knee injury against Chelsea back in October. He was out for the entire month of November and he back in early December. Zeriri going to try and get it through once again here to Zaha.
The trouble for Zaha, he's going past the first challenge. He didn't have to go past the second one in El Ahmadi, but there's always a spare defender. They've got three centre-backs. Saiz just comes across and deals with it. They've actually tried to play a bit more in the second half through midfield. It hasn't worked for them. They might just revert to going back that little bit longer. Here it goes.
Over the top they go, looking for Zaha. There's El Ahmadi in there. He's been bypassed. Seri will get it to Zaha. And again, you know, we're talking about a player who is used to playing on some of the best surfaces in the world. We've seen Sadio Mane, who had as well a bit of a dig at the quality of the playing surfaces. And Sacco as well. They found it difficult. Zeridi's taking a deflection, and it'll go behind for a corner.
He's got a powerful strike on him. That one was deflected. Just in that little bit of space. Hasn't been too much space on the field in attacking areas for the Ivory Coast. Got a set play here. Bailly is a threat in the air. Being spoken to yet again.
Yeah, and inexperience in moments like this can prove very costly. Toward the near post, that's a good bit of goalkeeping that by Munir. Zaha was right in his face, and Body was coming in there as well. Rather predictably, he's gone down with an injury.
They make you laugh, don't they, goalkeepers at times?
Munir or Kajui. The referee's got a call for attention to be given. He's been watched over there by Da Costa, the Olympiacos player.
Does well. He just takes a slight whack to the side. And the goalkeepers are the only player on the field that, if treatment does, somebody comes on to give him treatment, he doesn't have to leave the field, so he can, goalkeepers can stay down.
Imagine how that'd change if they did.
Oh, absolutely.
I saw, who was it? Was it Van Basten who was talking about rules he wanted to see changed a week or so ago?
That's the one you want to see changed, is it?
That's the one, well, he wanted to see offside removed because he thought it would bring more goals. But I think after we had a discussion on that, the flip side is it could see less.
Oh, well, I'd like to see the offside line as they used to do in Subbuteo. Halfway between the halfway line and the byline. That would work very well.
Listen, most of our audience have PlayStations, wouldn't know what Subbuteo was.
One of my first teams was Morocco.
Flick to kick.
Yep. If you've never heard of it, youngsters,
they still sell it.
Look it up. It's the best football game you'll ever play.
This is what we got coming up tomorrow. Egypt against Ghana. Back after a brief hiatus, of course, Egypt, a successful nation here, looking to make their way through, and they could even go out. Slight improvement in the amount of possession Morocco have had in the opening stages of this half.
Physical battle.
There's El Ahmadi. 11 is Faye. Has to make that work. Seri D was chopping at his heels. Picked up by Seri. And this is Cannon. 19 is Delhi. Into Cannon. Again, more frustration there for Solomon Kalou. And remember what could be his final AFCON game here. He's said that he's not going to be playing another Nations Cup campaign.
nibble. Fayet, quick to go down. One player that has produced a moment of magic with that free kick, Fayet, in the first half.
Delhi into Cannon. It's Seti. Boni. Zaha. And they get the overlap here. Wasn't again a good ball. Zaha holding play up. Trying to get it into Aurier. Aurier's now out of position here. This is Neziri. Neziri into Alioui. Alioui! Oh, look at that! What a magnificent goal by Alioui. That is one of the best goals of this tournament so far, no doubt about that. And is that the goal that is going to send Ivory Coast home?
Well, I was just about to say he's made the wrong decision here, because when Nezri played him the ball, he needed to be played back in. He didn't see the pass, Alioui. He stood still with it, but then saw the position of the goalkeeper and showed great technique to bend it round him and over him. What a finish from Alioui.
Only his second ever international goal. He scored against Canada in a friendly back in October.
Watch here, when the ball gets played to him, Nezri makes a run. He can be played back in now. Nezri would have been in. He takes his time. It looks as though nothing was on. The goalkeeper's about 4 or 5 yards off his line, and it's the perfect strike. Gets enough pace on it. Actually goes in about halfway up the goal.
Well, that is a sensational goal from Alioui. Currently found to be treading the boards down in the second division in France with Nîmes. Once that's gone round the world, he'll probably be on the shopping list of a club or two. We'll be looking at maybe any potential that he might have. He's only 24 years of age. But maybe that is going to actually wake Ivory Coast up.
Well, they've now got to play with greater urgency. They've got to get more players in the attacking areas.
And they've got to score 2 goals. But it's not impossible. There's enough quality out there.
Morocco have got to keep their concentration. They always say you're most vulnerable when you have just scored. Defend this set piece to start with. Ivory Coast need to get back in the game fairly quickly here.
He is sort of the back post, and is that going to be a corner? Yes, indeed it is.
Here's the goal again. He has a look. He has a look. Stands still with the ball. Doesn't really move it. Just wraps his right foot round it. Bends it over the top and round the goalkeeper. Could the goalkeeper have done better? Maybe he should have backed off rather than trying to dive from where he was. But there's nothing wrong with that strike.
They're back in. Very nearly. He's kept in play. It was Kessie who tried to get it back across. Zaha going close.
That's the first header that was dangerous. He did have somebody on the far post, on the back post, Morocco. It's actually Mendil that heads it away. He actually wasn't on the post, he was marking Zaha.
Here's how it stands then. He, well, rather like Kalou, could be looking at his last AFCON game in charge. Lag up anyway.
Laziness from Boni. All went past him. He didn't get himself back on side. Sums up the Ivory Coast in this game so far.
Well, the miracle man, the magician. He's working the oracle yet again here with another unfancied nation. He gets hold of all the nations there, picks the one that potentially looks on paper as if they've got absolutely no chance. When you think about it, the last 7 campaigns, only one time Morocco got out of the group stage back in 2004 when they lost to Tunisia and they were runners-up.
When he that left his boot, he must have realised he'd made good contact. He must have seen the goalkeeper's position. That's what it means to their fans. Poor first game. against DR Congo, played much better. They've been 1-0 down against Togo. Can't say they've played well in this game, but they're in the driving seat here. They've defended well enough. Back three have won most of the balls that have been played forward. Midfield have done a good job closing down and not allowing time and space for Ivory Coast midfield to play.
Only ever won it, remember, on one previous occasion. Back in 1976, Morocco. There's Aurier. There's a Romanian, a guy called Virgil Madaradescu, who was in charge there.
You've been practicing that all day, that name.
Madaradescu, yeah. Or Virgil. Here's Bailly. Jesse followed it through. Another free kick given away. Well, he's got a point, De Costa. They seemingly, and it's just kicking off a bit down there. ZED needs to just calm down a bit here.
Well, the people that need to calm down are the Moroccan players, because they're leading the game. They're going through. What they don't need is a player sent off here.
Penalty right in the thick of it. Pushing and shoving now. Referee has order restored.
Bailly was the player that was getting involved, and you can just tell Soufa is telling him to calm down, don't get involved. We need 11 men on this pitch. If we keep 11 men on the field, we win the game.
Well, Zaha's going to get a card there for chatting back to the referee.
Hasn't been good enough from Wilfried Zaha in this game. Still having a go at the referee.
Big fanfare on his arrival. "20 minutes to get 2 goals here." The whistle had already gone, flag up.
Big centre half just made his run a fraction too early. Simondelli, not by much. You see his head was in an offside position.
But Kodjo-Laba has got a goal back for Togo in the other game, so it is 2-1. Democratic Republic of Congo lead in that game. Here, Morocco lead 1-0. Ivory Coast are going home unless they can find 2 goals. There is the hero of the moment, Alioui. Came on for Bouadouz.
Apart from the goal, everything he's done since he's been on, he's either lost possession, hasn't closed down, given a foul away, apart from the goal, where it looked to start with as if he'd made the wrong option by not passing out to Nesri, but the finish was brilliant from him.
Forward by Cannon, looking to get Kalou away, and it's held up by Didar.
Just to lift it over the channel. He's actually not caught that badly. I think he might have had his hand stood upon as he goes to ground there. He's holding his shin. Is there any contact with his shin? None whatsoever. Scream and a yelp, wins in the free kick.
Neziri will drop to Amadi. Faya into Neziri. Mendil out of position now. Bailly. Good jump it seemed to get by Da Costa. Back in the day, played for the Portuguese youth national teams. spot his talent when he picked him up for PSV a few years ago. Now, through the middle is Wilfried Zaha.
Well, at least they had players around the knockdown. Lou was going in on the goalkeeper, then Zaha got onto the next ball. Ball played forward. There's the first flick.
I think I might have given him a new name there. Zaha going in there with Wilfried Bony just behind him.
Kalou was just about to volley that with his right foot. Da Costa got to it. Zaha almost there.
So here's the Aston Villa forward, Kodja, about to come into the game. Well, the change will purely be for Bony, I would imagine.
I think they've got to play with two up front. They've got to get as many players in the front area as possible.
Well, he was spotted playing in the French second division with Angers. Scored a lot of goals there and turned up at Bristol City and did exactly the same there before Aston Villa paid between 12 and 15 million to take him there this season, and he's settled in okay there. He's scoring goals there. 9 goals this season. To all his career he spent in the second tiers or lower in the leagues around Europe that he's played in. He's never played in the top flight anywhere.
Here comes, they're just about to make it. It's not ready.
Oh, it's Zaha who's going off.
Well, he hasn't been good enough. Simple as that. Hasn't affected the game. For Zaha.
So Kodja on. Lee Johnson wishes he still had his services. Here they come against. Good turn that by Neziri. He's put in a shift, Neziri, and again, the key areas in this Moroccan 11 out here, there's an awful lot of youth out there.
Well, what they have been is disciplined. They've played to a game plan, which has been quite a defensive one. They've worked hard, and their 3 centre-backs, apart from there, have won most balls in the air.
Is Kodja. Da Costa has been drawn out of position. Dida is there. Cannon. It's going to be another free kick given away here.
Free kick will be from Morocco. But the game plan from Michel Desoye has been flawed. He's gone from back to front, which is okay, but the balls have been played way over the front players' heads, and you've got 3 centre-halves who have won most balls in the air. Benatia, Da Costa, Saiss. And then the midfield have been too deep and haven't picked up the knockdowns. That's a better position for Kalou.
Kalou up there with Amadi. Amadi giving away the free kick. Scored a few goals as well, actually, this season, Amadi, which is more than usually a cruise.
He's playing in a different position for Feyenoord this season. He's not playing as the holding midfield player. He's playing a little bit further forward, and I think it suits him.
He's scored him 4 goals as well this season. Kodja was just getting ready to tee up a volley. There's Zeridi. A bit unlucky there. Alioui giving away the free kick. Zeridi getting it going quickly. This is Cannon. Bony in there, Kalou's in there, Kodja's in there, Aurier is in there. It's aimed towards Kalou, gets up, Kodja's on the back post. Dira getting it clear.
Good spring from Kalou at the far post. Jumped early above Saiss.
There's Kessie. 14 is Boussoufa. Neziri has got something to chase here. May is with him. That was a little bit of inexperience there shown by the 19-year-old.
Just needed a good touch and then whip it into the box, because Alioui had made a run and was free in the box. I think saw the presence of Bailly coming across, didn't fancy taking him on 1v1. Most possible to hit that on the half volley.
Here goes Cannon. This is more like what they expected to see from Cannon, racing down that flank to try and whip balls in, but this time he's overhit it.
Here's that turn you were talking about from Nesri. It just slipped as he was about to take the shot. Coming for El Kaduri today.
Still no closer with 12 minutes to go to an Ivorian comeback in this game. In the other game, 2-1. The Democratic Republic of Congo lead Togo. And this is coming up later tonight. Conte against Serena Williams. What a night it's going to be. And you'll be able to see every bit of it on Eurosport from midnight. The match itself begins at 2 a.m. There'll be highlights, of course, of that throughout the course of the day as well tomorrow, and full coverage on the Eurosport player as well. Here's Alioui. Dida. 8 here is El Amadi. Whip one in, Neziri was there. Back off, but again, options up front, a few and far between. Kodja waiting in the penalty area, checking he was onside. It's Kalou. Solomon Kalou, has he gone too far? He's won a corner kick, though.
That's what has happened time and time again. When the wing-backs have been beaten, the outside centre-half, that time it was Benatia, gets out and helps him out, stops the cross coming in.
They get a goal here. Really relying on touch. Mendel. Again, we talk about a little bit of naivety, a little bit of inexperience. He looked to be caught in two minds.
Well, he couldn't believe his luck. They get turned. As he gets turned, he realises he's got more pace than Seri, the substitute. He's never going to get there. Takes an extra touch just to settle himself. He did everything right until the final finish, where he's got to go across the goalkeeper.
But Neziri stopped his run. If Neziri had continued his run, he could have played the ball back into him. As El Amadi gives away a free kick, kicks the ball away, and he might get a yellow card for that.
Oh, doesn't need to get involved, El Amadi.
Well, he gets a needless yellow card.
Aurier may get away with this. I think the referee's turned a blind eye to that shove. It's a bad challenge by El Ahmadi. It's the foul in the first place. Wins the ball quite clearly.
Democratic Republic of Congo got 3-1 up. Mabuku has scored the goal there. We'll give you the goals a little bit later on. Abadi is coming on, the 33-year-old Munir Abadi from Lille.
It hasn't been his best game, Faye, in terms of his attacking quality, because he's a player that can pass the ball and score goals himself, go past people. He's done a decent defensive job. Had that one great free kick. They went to sleep while they were making the substitution. As soon as he came on the field, Ivory Coast took the free kick, and suddenly they had an extra player at that far post.
Very nearly getting caught out. So Abadi in, an attacking midfielder, so it's a positive change. Some might have gone for something a bit more defensive.
He's going to get a yellow card probably straight away, but he gets away with it. Two poor challenges by Abadi. Obviously he's been told to go on and get his foot in and win tackles.
Started his career back in the day with PSG. Never made it through to the first team in the 3 years that he was there.
He talks about Renard Ziyech not having the physical qualities to...
Watch the way that bounces. Bonnie has picked it up, and again, little indecisive, and then from 40 metres out, Zeridi. Wishing he hadn't bothered.
Poor effort, poor decision. Zeridi, they're going to make another change. Gradle. He's going to come on here for Kessie, who's had little or no influence on the game, the midfield player.
Well, in that final game against Cameroon, where they needed a victory to qualify for the quarterfinals a few years ago, Gradle actually got the goal that beat Cameroon. Have they run out of ideas here?
I think the Ivory Coast ran out of ideas 10 minutes into the game. Once their style of play wasn't upsetting Morocco, they haven't been able to come up with anything else really.
Zeridi, who's had an interesting last 12 months. This time last year he was suspended by PSG for the comments he made on one of the social media platforms when he was doing an interview called Di Maria a clown.
Wasn't very complimentary
about Laurent Blanc
no.
That was, I think, what got him into more trouble than the comments about Di Maria. It's Neziri. Aurier. Clodger was just primed to attack that ball, and Saiss made an interception.
Goalkeeper here going mad with Mendel. He wants him to get tight to stop the cross coming into the box. Still having a go at Mendel.
It's Cannon, who was kicked up into the air, it seemed, by Dira. It's Zeridi. And again, certainly couldn't complain about his industry and desire in this game. Zeridi. Dira brings it away. Kalou snapping at him. It's Zeridi who makes that interception again. Abadi is with him. Zeridi whips one in. Koch's in there trying to tee it up, but there's nobody to tee it up for.
Now given the other way. Yeah.
Well, I think we came expecting a bit of a classic. We expected something big from Ivory Coast in this game, and they just have failed to deliver on the night. But maybe they're playing to the peak of their ability.
I don't think we're ever going to see a classic footballing game because of the standard of the pitch, which is very bobbly and bouncy. What I expected was more quality about Ivory Coast when they played the ball forward. I thought they'd get it wide and get crosses into the box. I thought they'd have a little bit more about them. I thought Bonnie would do really well backing into centre halves. It hasn't been the case. They've been devoid of ideas. Their body language hasn't been particularly good. Going to be a yellow card, is it here for the goalkeeper for time wasting, Munir? Here we go.
Yep. Well, it's not all good news for Hervé Renard, because the prize for winning here and qualifying only in second place is that they go to Port Gentil to play.
And the pitch is worse than from here.
It's Ghana or Egypt, and we'll see those two in action tomorrow.
Should be a good game, Ghana versus Egypt.
But Egypt will be thinking there are forces at work against them if they get forced to play in that place for a fourth time. It's Aurier. Over the head of Acosta. There's El Amadi to get it clear. 19 is Delhi. Is Seridi. Bailly. Neat bit of interception again.
Well played by Benatia. Came out from his back three position to go and close Atout down.
Aurier is in there. Poor delivery from Aurier.
He's a better fullback than that. Top quality player, Aurier. He's playing at his best. He had 4 or 5 players to aim for in the box.
She turned down Ivory Coast. He was going to start to play for the French national team. #21 is Bailly. Is Delhi. Zeridi. Cannon. Kalou is in there, beaten to the jump there by Da Costa.
Great defending by Da Costa, being so determined at the back.
Benatia. Zeridi. Cannon can't keep it in play. Zeridi. Zeri. Is Delhi.
You really remember a chance for Ivory Coast in this second half? A really good chance.
Barely remember a good chance in the first half either. It's just been a massive disappointment. It's El Amadi. Now look at Eziri, if he can get it in. Eziri's in, and again, is he offside?
Yeah, he was offside, made his run too early. The ball was there to be played. Yeah, the linesman.
Only about 2 metres.
Yeah, the linesman sticks his flag up. There we go. But he's done his job. And Nezri, coming from this left-hand side, has made some good diagonal runs. He's been a threat on the counter in this second half.
2 19-year-olds down there. Mendil, who's not played a first-team game for Lille in his career just yet. We're going to get one other change here. Boutaïd, the Strasbourg forward.
Could be for the youngster.
So using up a few further seconds.
To the goal scorer, I think.
It's Aliou, he's going off.
You've done your job. We sent you on after about 30 minutes. You scored your goal. You can come back off again now. Here it is. And what a goal it was.
Well, he's up there, isn't he? With the best goals in the tournament so far, and it'll be a moment that he remembers for the rest of his life. Could be the goal that launches his career in another direction. Remember playing in the mid-regions of the French second division with Nîmes.
Let's hope he's not injured, because if Boutaïd is injured, Alioui likewise, they could struggle up front in the next game. Morocco.
That long run, which has seen them not make it outside of the group's last 7 occasions, looks as if it is at an end. Delhi.
You have to say it's been a sad end for Kalou, hasn't it? It's a game that he really wanted to impose himself on. He tried hard. He was probably their best player in the first half.
You could have been facing Morocco, couldn't you? Indeed, you look back to 1986 when you very nearly got on that plane. And Morocco topped the group that England were in. That was the game where Ray Wilkins got sent off, as I seem to recall.
Throwing the ball at the official, wasn't it? He was a nasty player, that Ray Wilkins.
Raymondo, the great Raymondo, but that's going to be it, yeah. Neziri, who's just going to take another few seconds. So, well, they do. Just look at that chance. So why didn't he get on the plane?
Because Brian Robson declared himself fit enough. And of course, he dislocated his shoulder in the very first game. England didn't have a very good start to that tournament. They lost to Portugal 1-0, drew with Morocco, but then got through by beating Poland 3-0. Gary Lineker hat-trick, if I remember rightly.
That's an interesting ball over the top. And just couldn't drag the ball back into his path, the substitute, Kodja.
Well, that's the first time there's been space in behind. One long ball played forward. Kodja looked as though he was getting in behind Da Costa. Pitch, I think, hampered him again. It was bobbling around. He couldn't get it under control. Just lost concentration, just for a fraction of a second there, Morocco.
Very nearly at the end, just a few final seconds here. And the defending champions will be bidding farewell to AFCON 2017. Owned by Boussoufa. Boutaïb losing out there. Saiss winning it in here. Seridi.
Quite right, Seridi has worked hard. He's trying to get on the ball. He's trying to make things happen.
He's had more energy than most around him, Seridi. You can see the frustration clearly embedded in his face, and that is the end of the game. And that is the end of Ivory Coast's run as champions. The defending champions go out, and the man that took them to that success a couple of years ago is the man that has masterminded the downfall here. The man who's known as the magician. Hervé Renard, the lucky white shirt, has been pressed iron. It's back in good service here. And he gets this Moroccan team, which is more used in the last few years, to exiting at the group stage itself. Well, maybe he's going to have a nation dreaming that the long wait since 1976, maybe it could end this time around.
Yeah, I think they're going to be outsiders, but they defended well today. The three centre-backs won so much of the aerial duels that they were forced to make. Kalou got the man of the match, his last game at the African Cup of Nations, but Morocco in the end deserved to go through.
Here is the table. Doesn't make a pretty reading, does it, for Ivory Coast? We do expect more from them. I think we've come to expect to see them at least into the knockout stages in these events.
Well, the game that really did for them was the first game against Togo, when they didn't win that. That was the game they were really expected to win, get them off to a good start, and it didn't happen.
Off to Port Gentil, then, Morocco will go. Right, we're going to take a short break. When we come back, we'll look over the key moments of this game. Also, we will look at the goals in the game between the Democratic Republic of Congo and Togo. That's all to come after this break.
Can Johanna Konta make it 2 Australian Open semi-finals in a row? First up, the former world #1 Serena Williams stands in her way. The Australian Open quarter-finals, Johanna Konta versus Serena Williams, tonight from midnight, live on Eurosport 1.
This year on Sky Atlantic. Incredible award-winning drama. The biggest stars. In new big screen